Hello, I'm Miss Nini. Welcome to my kitchen. I am so glad you are here. I grew up on the apron strings of my mom, and I grew up in North Dakota, on a farm in the prairies of North Dakota. I was involved in the 4-H program there and was a 4-H member for 10 years. And so one of my projects was food nutrition, and thus I learned to bake through the help of my mother. I guess I've always liked the challenge of baking. As I went on to college, I studied home economics education at North Dakota State University. I was a minor in food nutrition, so again, the passion for being involved in the food industry just kept growing within me. I became a home economist for a power company after we were married, and I had the really great experience of demonstrating electrical appliances, kitchen appliances, to women and men through television as well as through cooking schools and one-on-one presentations. So all of this, as I see it, has been a developing process in learning how to become a better baker, learning more techniques and skills. I like to tweak recipes, I like to make them my own. I love baking with my daughters. That is the greatest one-on-one experience that a parent can have, is working with their children in the kitchen. Not only teaching them math skills and science skills, because that's what's learned when we bake, but also just this one-on-one camaraderie. I believe that that is the time that I really got to know my girls, and they got to know me as their mom and as the one who loves and cares for them. I love to do competitive baking, particularly with desserts, and no better venue to do that than the food department at the Iowa State Fair. That happens to be the largest competitive food event of its kind in the nation. I started out entering the Iowa State Fair in the late 70s. I entered 9 layer cakes at that event. I was awarded a first, second, and a third out of those 9, and so boy, oh boy, that got the juices flowing in me. As our girls were involved in the 4-H program, I backed away from my own competitive baking so I could assist them. That was their time in life. So that's what I did then. Then, when they were grown up and they were out of 4-H and FFA, I again started entering the food competition at the State Fair. I've been so fortunate to have the Grand Champion Cheesecake at the State Fair, the Grand Champion Yeast Bread at the State Fair, sponsored by King Arthur Flour Company, and this year the Midwest Living Cookie Competition. Out of 63 classes and over 500 entries of cookies, my cookie, which was the original recipe that I created for raspberry lemonade cookie coins, was named the Grand Champion of the State Fair. It was just been a wonderful, wonderful experience to be a part of that. Our older daughter got married. She decided to have a dessert buffet for their wedding reception. I said to her, I'll do it for you. So that was my challenge, to be able to make a volume of desserts and have them turn out exquisitely well. And then, not only that, but to have the guests at the reception just thoroughly enjoy them. And that's what happened. So because of that, I said those 4 words to myself: I can do this. And that's all it takes, is I can start a baking business, I can do this and make it work on my own. So that is thus the start of Encore Desserts, and now we are changing and developing the company even further. We are making it more identifiable as my name, Miss Nini, and the name of our company now is Miss Nini's Fine Desserts. We ship nationwide. We also sell out of my inspected and licensed kitchen in my home, which is just a fantastic way of being able to bake and become an entrepreneur. I believe the secret to being good at baking is desire. You have to have a passion for your art. And I consider baking as an art. I truly believe that we eat with our eyes first. Food has to look appealing to us in order for us to want to taste it. Then, once our eyes are set on that and our senses get, and our imagination starts thinking of what that product is going to taste like, then the secret and the clincher is to have them taste the product. The most rewarding part of doing this job is seeing the satisfaction in other people when they taste my desserts. The The Bakeristas is just a wonderful concept in order to be able to become an entrepreneur in your own home. I started in my own home. My business is still operated out of our own home, and yet it's a nationwide business. I love the flexibility of being able to work in our own home, as I'm sure many women and men would love to do. But perhaps there are other responsibilities that they have that they cannot work at a job outside their home. Or they may want to just become their own boss. That's what the opportunity to become a bakerista is all about. To have a passion for baking and then to develop that passion in your own home when you didn't think something like this was possible. Miss NINI'S is the umbrella of your entrepreneurship. And we will provide the instruction, the promotional materials, the recipes, the ideas. But we want to work with you hand in hand to help develop your business to the best that you can. My goal for Miss NINI'S Fine Desserts is to have the name become a national brand name. I am really looking forward to being the promotional person behind Miss NINI'S Fine Desserts because I have the passion for it, and it is the business that I started. Teaching baking is my passion. I love to teach children the aspect of baking, but I also like to teach adults too. I have grown on my experiences in baking, and so I want to be able to pass that on to people and help them become better bakers at what they're doing. I believe that it is so important to be able to have a business that you can start and let yourself go with it. That's what we're doing with Miss NINI'S Fine Desserts.